Hi, I'm Pam Apke. I'm a licensed attorney in Illinois. I practice law with the Law Group of Illinois Ltd. We have offices in Vandalia and Effingham. We're a small firm with 9 attorneys, but we have enough attorneys to provide service in all areas of the law. I concentrate my practice in estate planning, estate administration, real estate, tax planning. My practice is primarily transactional, and our firm is rich in history representing farmers. When I went to law school, I never thought that my practice would revolve around the weather. If it's raining, my phone is ringing because my clients are giving me a call. Our firm has attorneys that practice in family law. We have attorneys that practice in criminal law. We have attorneys that do corporate law, and our corporate practice is primarily where the rest of us feed off of. We represent over 1,000 corporations, of which 2/3 are farming corporations. Because of our type of practice, we use appraisers a lot. And one of the appraisers that we work with that I like working with is Don Cochran. He is one of those guys that I like because he's consistent. And when you're in my business, I need to have an appraisal that's right. I need to have an appraisal that's fair and does a good job. I hire appraisers for estate tax returns, federal estate tax returns, Illinois estate tax returns. I hire appraisers to set bases in property. I hire appraisers to tell us what ground is worth so that we can divide it up among family members. Succession planning and transferring the family farm is a big part of my practice. And having an appraiser that gives me good, fair, consistent numbers is extremely important to me. My favorite thing about Don Cochran's appraisals is if I give it to the client, they'll look at it and they'll smile and say, well, I wish it would have been higher, but dang it, he's probably right. And the next guy will say, darn, I wish it would have been lower, but he's probably right. And that is why I have used Don. Don and I have been working together for probably over 20 years. His appraisals are thorough, and he charges a fair price. And his turnaround time, he's upfront about his turnaround time, which is what I need when I'm trying to get my estates handled and wrapped up. One of the reasons that we look at Don Cochran when we're hiring an appraiser is he is an accredited rural appraiser, and that becomes very important to us when we're filing tax returns with the IRS. We file gift tax returns. In our practice, we assist farmers in the transition of the family farm, and a lot of that is gifting during lifetime. And the IRS and the Illinois Attorney General's office do audit these tax returns. And when the IRS and the Illinois Attorney General's audit these tax returns, the first thing that they look at is the appraisals, because that is where the high dollar is in most of our estates. And when they're looking at them, number one, you have to be licensed in Illinois. And with the proper accreditations, it's easier for me to say, how can you say that this guy is wrong? He's got his accreditations and his appraisal is thorough and it's consistent. Also in our practice, in representing farmers, which is pretty much all I do all day long is deal with farmers, we need to have our property appraised by someone who is accredited so that we have good appraisers. You cannot just hire someone who does houses, because that doesn't work for determining the value of waterways, determining the value of tiling, determining the value of the productivity based on the soils. And those are things that I need to do when I'm working with my clients. A couple areas of the law that I do. The first one is estate tax returns. As an individual, when you pass away, if you meet certain requirements, you're required to file a federal estate tax return as well as an Illinois state tax return. And I have to have appraisals that get attached to those returns. And one code section in the Internal Revenue Code is called 2032A. And 2032A basically allows us to value farm ground at cash rental value instead of fair market value for purposes of valuation. This year, that's not quite as important on the federal return as is on the Illinois tax return. And we've hired Don Cochran, who is accredited, to do those appraisals for us, and he's done a great job. It saves my clients quite a bit of money, and it basically lets them pass to the next generation about another $1 million worth of assets. Another area of the law that I practice in is real estate. And the code section 1031 is the like-kind exchange code section of the Internal Revenue Code. And I get lots and lots of work doing exchanges. And we use appraisals to put the value on those properties. Appraising that property to make sure that we're trading like value is important, and having a good appraisal to substantiate that report with your income tax return is important as well.